Welcome again to Project with Brian. You've heard me talk before in glowing terms about evolution tools, and one of the ones I showed you last time was this circular saw, hand-based circular saw. In an ideal situation, everybody would want one of these circular saws in the bench and be able to cut and so on. But life isn't like that, is it? You know, when you're out on site, you need certainly to be able to plug in locally and work independently. You can't carry around your workshop saw. This one has served me well, and its advantage to me, first of all, was it had a very solid base. None of this flexing about base. Some saws have a cast base, even cast aluminium base. But the most important feature that is Evolution's big plus is this blade. This blade cuts through metal. So when you're on site and you're coming across the odd nail and so on, it doesn't ruin your blade. If I want to cut a lintel, this will cut it, and then I can go back to carrying or cutting wood. So this, and the advantage of Evolution is that they're thinking a little bit outside the box and give that extra versatility that other saws don't give. It's got a weight to it, and in terms of my age, if I've got to say that, it can be heavy in use if I'm doing a lot of work. So I'm encouraged that Evolution brought out a new lighter weight version of this, and I haven't taken it out of its box yet. I've had it a few days, haven't taken it out of its box because I wanted to show you what I thought of, what my first impressions were straight out of the box. So let's put this down to one side. And get out the new one. Now, this is in a plain box at the moment, and I'm going to zip it open. And there we go, with the dust extraction first of all, your fence guide, polystyrene top, and straight out the box it comes, and the blade is in the bottom. It's a 185 blade, which the most important thing is 185 means you can cut 4x2, which is most common used type of timber on the site. One of the things I'm pleased Evolution have listened to is maybe earlier comments that it's a bit of a economic disaster to make the lead too short. This one is a 3-meter lead. If I show you it, and that means you don't have to do my favourite trick of extending the lead with a printer cable lead. So, quite a good lead. You've got to say that's going to be useful. So, first off, it's lightweight. Second off, look at that. It's got quite a solid base. It looks like cast metal, not quite sure what metal it is, but it's got a good solid base. The handles for adjusting the angle of cut, easy to operate, and bear in mind I'm doing all this for the first time. It's intuitive, and depth of cut very easy, and on the side it actually has a gradation to tell you roughly what you're going to cut. Yeah, because that's mainly what you want to do, is just roughly know how much it's going to cut. Yeah. At the moment, It's lighter weight, handles in a better position, I think, and overall I think it's going to be a very usable tool. The other thing about this tool, and I haven't done it yet, but we can do it if you like now, is put the blade in. The good thing about this is that that screw in the middle isn't a left-hand screw, because quite often we're turning and turning and say it's locked, it won't come on some tools, and that's because it's a left-hand thread, and it's not immediately obvious that this is an ordinary screw, and it'll screw up the way you expect the screw to turn up, and do up, and it'll unscrew as you'd expect a screw to turn up. There's the blade, and it's a very special design. You'll notice that it's thin kerf, which means that it's not going to have struggle to cut through timber at all. You very often see thin kerf blades used on battery tools in order to preserve battery life. So this is not taking loads out of the motor. It's got all of these pieces at the back here, which is designed to make sure that when you're cutting steel, you're not trying to take big chunks at a time. It lets you take small chunks at a time, but the effect of the cut is absolutely fantastic. So, anything I'd change? Well, at the moment, I can't see that I would. It's got the same power as the other tool. It tells me direction of rotation, so I can't get the blade wrong in it. I think, out of the box, not bad. What I thought we do now is just show you a quick blade attachment and a demonstration of the left and right hand screws. Give you a quick demonstration of cut just to show you what the detents do. To put the blade in, first of all we take our normal threaded screw out and our spacer, and then we put the blade in. The blade has got direction of rotation. The saw has got direction of rotation, so we can't get that wrong. It sits over a particular thing to make sure that it is fully engaged. The washer here has got a detent in the back of it, so that when you tighten down, it tightens onto the blade. So here we go, putting the screw down, and now we're going to tighten it up. Woo! They've thought of that. Here's a little position for the Allen key. Here is the blade stop, so we now lock it up like so. Put that back so we don't lose it again. And you notice that while I was doing all that, it was disconnected. Can't emphasize that enough. Keep it disconnected when you're doing anything with the blade like that. I'm going to plug it in now. And what I thought we'd do then is take it over to a piece of wood and give it a cut. Like all tools, it's important you know what it's going to do for you. Now, this will have a detent at the front which shows where the blade is going to cut, but you need to know whether you're going to cut this side of the line or the other. So this is my first cut, so this is going to give me experience of whether I'm cutting that side of the line or this side of the line. So I'm lining it up dead centre with the line, And I'm going to cut this one freehand, and then I'll show you it working with its guide. So I'm going to power up now. Smooth and effortless. Here's our piece of wood. I can't see the pencil mark at all, so I think we've cut bang on the line. But equally, when you're doing this for the first time, you just need to know what that measurement was, so that you know whether you're cutting one side of the line or the other. There is a second detent on this, which is there, and that one is for when you are cutting 45-degree angles, and it will tell you where your centre cut is going to be then. I'm going to use the fence now. That simply slots through the hole, lock it down, and the cut should be exactly the same. Just going to move it a bit. These clamps are ideal, by the way. They're the ones I bought from Rutland. I think I told you about them in another film. So now I'm going to use the wood and the guide. Always important to let the blade stop once you've reached your destination, and don't move until you've done it. I can't emphasise that enough, because when you've got a spinning blade, albeit this one's got a brake away from you, accidents can happen. Here's the offcut. So one freehand, one machine done with a machine guide. I think that looks fairly parallel if you have a look. The cut is brilliant, nice and clean cut. It does exactly what it says on the tin. Good circular saw, easy to use, and I think I'm going to enjoy using this. So, what does this little amazing invention cost? Well, you'll be very surprised to learn that it's about £50. Of course the other manufacturers will be at a much greater price. But did it do the job? Is it doing the job? Does it look the business? Does it feel right? Yes, it does. So in terms of value for money, I think this is good. Okay, let's talk about dust extraction. We should all talk about dust extraction much more. The truth of the matter is, we don't. This tool comes with the dust extraction that moves it from shooting it to the side to shooting it at the back, so that you can plug in a vacuum cleaner. Very often these are power takeoff vacuum cleaners, so that when you power up the tool, the tool is actually plugged into the vacuum cleaner, so when you power up the tool, the vacuum cleaner starts automatically. And then you can attach your dust extraction devices here, and this one's got two widths depending on what hose you've got. As I said, sadly we don't talk enough about dust extraction when you're on site. The problem is you don't take your vacuum cleaner very often unless you're going to do repetitive cuts in one position all the time. You don't have your hose ready to hand and so on, and we cut away. This is no different to anybody else or how anybody else works. It all shoots the dust out the side. So, I'll give a report on a later filming of how it's been in service. But in the meantime, thank you again for watching Bodge It with Brian. Don't forget, we're on Facebook and Twitter. and on
Instagram,
I believe.